we call our friends and we tell them to come, and then our friends call their friends, and everybody just comes together.
I don't really do anything that kind of represents me as like a Chinese individual. So I felt line dancing actually make a stronger bond between me and my past.
My name is Brian Tom. I've been with the club since its inception, so it's about 40 years now. I was a founding member of the Chinatown Community Young Lions. The club has been a safe harbor that a kid can come to learn how to do lion dance, to be amongst kids that have the same common interests.
I'm pushing you, and you're not falling, you're not moving. You come down, you come up.
Learning how to do the lion dance was something I always wanted to do from a very, very young age. I just happened to be walking the street in Chinatown during the Chinese New Year's parade, and by accident I was just sort of grabbed. And before I knew it, I was holding a flag for a lion club.
Brian is what they call ABC, American-born Chinese. The people in China always looked down on the American-born Chinese. No matter what club he was going to join, it would always be menial. In other words, they would never let him drum or get under the lion head.
My family was very instrumental in the way things turned out. Without their support, there wouldn't be a club.
It was important that I wanted him to learn a little bit of his Chinese culture. He said, "Mom, can you help us?" I looked at him, I said, "Okay, for this one time, I'll help you." 40 years later, we're doing it, and now we're 3 generations deep.
It took in a lot of kids that didn't necessarily fit into some of the other organizations. You had to belong to a kung fu school, or you had to belong to a family association in order to practice Chinese lion dance.
They used to call us the United Nations because we were the only group in Chinatown and really did have a true mix of kids. So really anybody can join the club. We have had and always will have an open door policy.
I didn't really want to join because I was one of the only Black people who are in the group. But then I got to know them, and then they're very welcoming.
We've become inclusive of people from pretty much the whole Lower East Side of New York.
My mom is Japanese, my dad is African, and the lion dance is from China. So it's all like juggling 3 cultures.
I'd probably be upset if I wanted to participate in something and I couldn't just because of who I am, just because I'm not from China. I feel like everyone should get a chance to experience different cultures.
So the club is sort of stratified between ages. The older ones will teach the younger ones how to hold the head, how to move it, how to step, and all of the different movements in between.
Not real loose, but relaxed.
None of it's written down. So all of those traditions really are just sort of done by watching another member and having that person teach you every single move.
Right, middle, to the left.
There are times we'll set up certain locations along the block where we'll do like a mock parade, kind of just in preparation for the New Year's.
We're gonna do the famous Greenwich Village Halloween Parade on October 31st. All the new members get to do their stuff, practice their stuff in public, and they get a basic feeling of what Chinese New Year's is gonna be like.
myself wants to play basketball, half myself wants to practice, so that way I could be a better line dancer, and when I grow up, I could be just like my brother.
The object is to make it look as alive as possible. So you blink the eyes, you move the ears. You want to make it look as lively as possible. So you're kind of trying to imitate how a cat would move. Cats are very cautious animals. Like when you're going over to approach something, they always come, they sniff, they'll touch it with their leg.
Our music is traditional, but with an upbeat, because we're young. We want to represent the youth.
We play a little bit faster. We play a little bit more aggressively.
Certain beats mean certain things. Like there's an upbeat where the lion raises his head and marches. There's the bow where the lion bows to establishments, the stores, or the person.
When you hear the drums and everything, you kind of ready and like your adrenaline's already up. You're doing the lion head, you get to release that tension.
Chinatown has grown exponentially from 40 years ago. So the 9 or so lion groups that I mentioned 40 years ago that would parade, now there's 25, 30 groups. These are kung fu schools, these are martial arts schools who just see this as an opportunity to generate some revenue. There's nothing celebratory about it.
A lot of them are not observing any tradition.
Soldier boy, I'm in it. Why me crack it? Why me roll? Why me crack that soldier boy? That Superman? That
It's no longer true to the way the original group who settled in Chinatown did it.
The inside joke amongst the older guys is this our last year? Is this our last year? And we've been saying that for the past 10 years.
Private donations and the red envelopes are not making it anymore for us.
Are we going to be able to just afford to keep 300 kids clothed during the new year? We feed them after performances, and a lot of that just comes out of our pocket.
It's hard to say, you know what, let's fold up shop and let's leave this kid in the wind.
What we see is kids that are coming in because they're seeing it more as a hobby, more as something to learn.
It's usually a fun activity for me, so then like I don't just sit on the couch eating chips watching TV.
There is a concern that little by little, each generation that's coming, that's a CCYL member, forgets a little bit more.
I do not know any of historical things about lion dancing.
I'm pretty sure that it's a tradition from China.
Chinese people do Chinese New Year because they believe that spirits are real and they want to scare them off.
There was this monster that would come down and terrorize the villages. And then one year the villagers said, you know, we've got to do something to stop them.
And so they would make lots of noise with drums and cymbals and go throughout the village using firecrackers to sort of scare away whatever was coming. They fashioned this very fierce thing with big eyes and a huge mouth and a long beard. Every
business will give a token, so we'll put $1 $2 in a red envelope. Some of the store owners, will put out a green leafy vegetable with oranges tied to a string or put on a stand. It symbolizes money. And that's an offering to the lion as well.
One of the higher honors that stores can do is to have a lion actually come into their restaurant and bless the altar that's usually in the back of the store.
That's why the lions do the blessing, so that their good business continues.
For the store owners, I think it's important to them. But for my age group or people who are lion dancing, I don't think it's as important.
Maybe sometimes I think evil spirits are supposed to show so people can see them. So maybe evil spirits are just a lie. Maybe they just want Chinese New Year's to happen to celebrate all Chinese people and to make them feel good.
As long as kids will be kids and still have the same challenges that kids have, there'll always be a need for a Young Lions Club.
Every child wants to belong to something.
I'm trying to make sure that some people get what they want and other people get what they want, and just to make them happy.
I can't really imagine myself without CCYL.